I would actually like to take a bit of time to talk about the other activities that AfriForum does,
Sure.
because yes, we do know that this is something that's certainly at the forefront politically at the moment, but there is a lot of other work that you have been getting up to assist South Africans on a day-to-day basis. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Right. So maybe first, for those that are unaware, how AfriForum works is on a membership model basis. So we don't get government funding. We don't get funding from billionaires or some oligarchy of people. We are funded by our 315,000 members. So to be an AfriForum member is not as simple as just liking a Facebook page or filling in a form and then you're a member. You actually have to be a donating member. So you have to give a donation every month to be considered a member. And we have about just over 300,000 of those members that give their donation every month so that we can do what we do. So we have a two-pronged approach. We call it a veg en bou approach, the fighting and building approach. So on the fighting side, we are a civil rights organization. So we go to court to fight for South Africans' constitutional and civil rights from a wide range of issues. So that's freedom of association, freedom of religion, freedom of speech, private property, you name it. All the integral rights, constitutional rights that you have as a South African. And then on the other side, we have the building facet of our organization, and that's through our branches network. So we have over 170 branches all across the country, and every one of those branches organizes the people in that community to identify the issues that they're facing, often issues due to government failure, things that the government should be doing, and then we find solutions, community-based solutions to those problems. It's all volunteer based, so we don't pay people to do this. It's people doing it out of their own time and own pocket, because if they don't, the community is going to get worse and worse because somebody has to do something. The government surely is not. And then we also have our neighborhood watch network. We have over 175 neighborhood watches all across the country that patrol their communities, keep them safe, and once again are on a volunteer basis. And they operate within the confines of the law. Then people shouldn't confuse them with militias or vigilante groups that are taking the law into their own hands. They operate under the South African law, and they cooperate with police very well. Often there's very good relationships between the local AfriForum Neighborhood Watch and the local police station, because the friction between AfriForum and the government happens at the top level, between top level politicians. That's where you see most of the friction. But at the grassroots level, the local police station doesn't see a problem with AfriForum. They are just happy for the supplement, for the help and the support. They are completely overwhelmed by the crime wave in South Africa. So that's how AfriForum makes a difference. We don't just fight in court. We also build. We also organize communities, and we also have a lot of So AfriForum is a explicitly Christian organization and explicitly Afrikaans organization, but we also have, and a lot of the issues that we fight for are issues that particularly, but not exclusively, affect Afrikaners, the Afrikaner cultural community. But we also do a lot of intercultural cooperation through my colleague Barend Eis, who is head of intercultural cooperation and projects. So we have joint agricultural projects, joint cultural development projects. There's a lot of those projects going on behind the scenes as well, but not just behind the scenes. We send out press statements to the media about those projects too. It's just the sinister thing that happens is those projects don't get covered in the media, especially not the intercultural projects, because that kind of breaks the narrative about AfriForum that the media is trying to push. It's too much of a feel-good story. You'd rather be pushing negative things. You'd rather be pushing racism hoaxes rather than stories of intercultural cooperation, especially if AfriForum is involved. So unfortunately, my colleague Barend Eis does incredibly interesting work and important work at AfriForum's intercultural cooperation department, but at the same time he does very thankless work, because a lot of the time the media just doesn't cover his stories. But if any of your listeners are curious about these projects or any other projects of AfriForum, what we're doing, you can just go to our website. Our website fully translates into English as well. If you click on the English at the top right of the screen. It'll translate to English, and then you go to news and press statements, and you'll see everything that we're releasing press statements on a daily basis on what we're doing all across the country. So that's a way to, if you are curious, to go check what we're doing.
Okay, great. That certainly was a very broad breakdown of what AfriForum does. And so, yes, if anybody is curious, please go check out the website as Ernst suggested. Ernst, if anybody would like to become a member, how do they go about doing so?
Well, that's very easy. I'll give you a link that has the easiest way, but so you can go to that link in the description of this episode. But you can also go to our website and just click join, and it will take you also to a page where you can join. And unlike the race-obsessed governments of South Africa, we don't ask your race or identity when you're trying to become a member. So it's not as some EFF revolutionaries lie and say, oh, you can only become a member if you're Afrikaans or an Afrikaner. No, anyone can become a member if they like what we're doing and want to support what AfriForum does. So yeah, that's the best way. I think the easiest and fastest way would be to follow a link that I'll give to Matthew, but then also you can just sign up on our website as well. That'll also work.
Okay, great. So yes, if anybody is interested, please be sure to check out the link, which will be in the description box below. Ernst, do you have any other final thoughts that you'd like to share with the audience before we end?
Well, I think the most important thing that I want to end on is particularly the idea that when it comes to bringing about change, you should be diversifying your change portfolio. You should not just be voting. Voting is important, and you should be taking part in democracy and democratic elections, but that can't be all. That's the bare minimum that you should be doing. You should also be identifying community-based organizations, non-governmental organizations in your community, doing good work, that are helping people, that are making a difference and getting involved in some way, whether that be becoming a volunteer or just giving a donation every month. That really makes a big difference, and that's going to make you a lot less hopeless when it comes, feelings of hopelessness when it comes to the party politics side of South Africa. A lot of people look at party politics and say, "Oh, we can't really see where positive change is going to come from." Well, when you become increasingly my English is now has left me now. No, when you become increasingly involved in community-based organizations outside of party politics, you really start feeling a lot more positive about the change that you are able to bring about as a community or as an individual, because you see that change in a tangible way every time you volunteer or every time that organization that you support financially does something good. So that would be my big advice to people, is if you're feeling a bit hopeless in regards to party politics, broaden your change horizons. Don't just wait for the next election. Identify organizations near you doing good work. It doesn't have to be AfriForum. Any organization doing something good in your community or near you or in your country, support them in any way that you can. It's going to not just help your country and your community, it's also going to make you a little less hopeless, feeling a little less hopeless.
Right. That's an incredibly important message, one that certainly shouldn't be taken for granted. And yes, if anybody is interested in taking action, don't just sigh and wait for the next election. Take action, get involved in civil society organizations such as AfriForum. Indeed. Ernst, I'd like to thank you for coming on the show. I certainly appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you very much for the conversation, Matthew, and all the best for your podcast and this platform.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So to anybody who enjoyed the episode, please like and subscribe to the channel. And if you would like to get involved in AfriForum or simply learn more about the organization, please follow the link in the description box below. Until next time, I'm Matthew Cohen, and this is Power and Politics.